My name is Tina Barkley. Thank you for joining us today in the Vidigami webinar. We are going to take probably about 25 minutes max today, I hope, to take you through a couple of slides, give you an idea of what Vidigami is, how it works, and then take you through a high-level demo of the site. So we'll just show you some of the main functionalities of the system. I'm just one of many people across the country with Vidigami, across the countries. I should say. I'm up in Vancouver, Canada, the original home of Vidigami, but we have reps all over North America that are ready and able to help you. So please know that at the end of the webinar, if you'd like to have some more information or follow up on anything, we'd be happy to put you in touch with the rep in your area. In fact, I can promise you that someone will be in touch with you today or at very, very latest tomorrow to just say hi and let you know that they're there if you need anything. A very often eventuality after showing people the demo initially is that they want to show other people in their school. So one of the things that we'd like to share with you right after a demo is we have a little 1.5 minute video. It's almost like a little commercial for Vidigami that you're able to share with members of your team that also may be in this photo management boat with you, so that we'll send that out to you. And as of course, we do have some of these webinars recorded on our website at about.vidigami.com/webinars. But we're also happy to do a live demo like this for a broader group at your school. So we'll talk about that. I'll remind you about that in the end. Hopefully you're here to hear about how to finally organize all of the photos at your school. So good news, we are a hub for school memories. Vidigami does just that. We take the thousands of photos that you take at your school each year and help you make sense of them, get them organized. So instead of photos getting lost and being on different people's computers or external hard drives, you make them all accessible, keep them in one place, keep everybody connected. The idea behind Vidigami is that it's a cloud-based photo management system, and we are designed exclusively for schools. So everything about our system is very school-centric. And the idea is that we centralize all your photos in one place, intelligently organize them, and help share them with your community. Managing the pain. I was just on the phone with someone from Cathedral Boys School in California, and it was an excellent conversation. At the end, I said, "You're our dream customer." She's got photos in multiple places, and not everybody who needs access to them has access to them. It takes so long just to find anything it's the needle in the haystack, for the proverbial needle in the haystack. Ironically, Vidigami was started to help parents share photos, just because sometimes I have the front row seat at the play, or I'm on the field trip, and I don't always get the photos that are taken at different events. What we soon realized talking to schools, though, was that this is becoming a bigger and bigger challenge. Schools are under an avalanche of digital content and needing to get their photos organized. So why choose Vidigami over other sharing options? The people I was talking to this morning have used Fanfare, they've used SmugMug. Well, it's very simple. We're the only tool that will solve all of your needs and give you the service and attention that you're going to need. By centralizing, we mean that we get all of your photos in one place. We also allow you to crowdsource photos from your community, whether parents or students, again, into one central area. And you're able to control privacy and security settings. So you're able to create roles for different levels, different permissions amongst your community. You can organize your photos. They're instantly tagged, actually, depending on where they go, which then makes them searchable. And having searchable photos makes them valuable and usable. So you're centralizing them, you're getting them organized, and then by sharing them, the system is able to push relevant activity, as I'm going to show you, out to parents or whoever is enjoying the system. And that's a great way to personalize the use of the photos. You'll find that there's almost a department that we don't empower. The core cheerleader usually at Vidigami, taking Vidigami on, is marketing communications, because we're going to, just being the person that is doing newsletters and annual reports and all of those sorts of things, needing photos all the time. But IT usually is involved in this process. They love to know about our privacy, our security, the fact that we're using Amazon, photos are securely stored in the cloud. But our advancement partners are often very excited about the way they can personalize campaigns or stewardship, use photos for all the different things that they need photos for, alumni relations. Yearbook loves Vidigami. We have a client that I saw recently at a trade show, and when I saw her, she's marketing communications, but she said, if my yearbook person was here right now, she would lay down at your feet. She is loving Vidigami. It's a great way to get things organized. And of course, athletics as well, just an incredible way to showcase photos. And I'm going to show you soon a new tool in Vidigami, how you can create slideshows of sports highlights or highlights of the week or whatever it is that you want to showcase. Students love Vidigami because all of their memories are in one place, and families love getting that window into their students' life at school. As I mentioned, there is normally a champion of Vidigami, and it's normally marketing communications. Sometimes it's IT. Every school can be different, but normally there's one main champion. There is an administrative team that will have probably more permissions than usual. And the rest of your community usually falls into one big basket, with the exception of maybe a really great couple of photographers or some real keeners, but you're able to assign roles to them as you need. I'm going to demo for you in just a second the actual web app, but we do also have a mobile app that is Android and iOS. So that is great. It's actually being used incredibly, so much more, I should say, than it has been in past years. So our mobile app is really ramped up. Oops, I went the wrong way. Coming very shortly is a new feature. We're always improving the system and adding new features. One of the new features that's coming up shortly is called Student Work. This is going to be a way to showcase student art, science projects, whatever it may be, and tag the creator or the author, put in a detailed description and add context. So this will be part of the memory box that students can take with them when they go, almost a portfolio. And in addition to photos, we're adding video. You'll be able to embed videos that you've already got hosted on YouTube or Vimeo. Maybe it's a long 2-hour graduation ceremony. But if you want, you can upload short MP4 clips that are up to 60 seconds right into the system. So when I go into a graduation album, there might be 967 photos, 4 videos. So they'll all be housed in the same place. I mentioned the yearbook factor and how everybody loves yearbook and Vidigami together. Well, we liked it so much that we have merged with the Peekaboo yearbooks this past August. Very exciting time. So while you can use Vidigami with any yearbook, it's especially exciting that coming in, I think the beginning of the 2018 year, probably January, there will be an integration directly with Peekaboo yearbooks. So photos will be able to flow directly from the yearbook builder, or from Vidigami into the yearbook builder. And just a quick note on what's hot and what's so great about Peekaboo yearbooks is they have no minimum orders. You can order just the amount of books that you need. You don't have to order more than you need. And if you need one more, they can order you one more. It's so fantastic. And they have quick turnarounds, just 3-week turnaround in spring. So you can get all of those spring and late term photos into your books, which is amazing. Lots of people, actually, schools that we're working with now, doing all sorts of books too, art books and athletic books, and not just yearbooks anymore. It's incredible. And then I'm going to touch on this very briefly now, but I'm happy to share more information later. As you see Vidigami unfold as I do the demo, one thing that might percolate in your brain is, gee, this is great for this year. How can I go back in time? We have created a system called Rewind to handle past photos. So we're happy to tell you more about that as we get chatting with you. So now I'm going to just pop into the interface. I've got a demo school here. It's called the Tina Demo School. So this is not a real school. It's got limited photos on it, but it will definitely give you an idea of what the system looks like. Let me just pop into the control panel. No questions yet. Please feel free to ask any questions in the question panel in your control area. So here's Vidigami, the interface. So when I first log on as an administrator, the first thing I see are these photos here that I see. This is my feed. I can click on go to album and it'll take me right into the album, but it pushes, as an administrator, pushes to me everything that's been newly uploaded. So any of the recent uploads. So I can really keep my finger on the pulse of what's coming into the system. If I were logged in as Tina, the mom of 2 daughters, I would be pushed content that's relevant to me. Remember, I talked about shareable, relevant content. We add kids' names to the groups that they're part of. So I have a daughter that rows, and I have a daughter in volleyball, a daughter in debate. So those groups, when photos are added to those, or photos of my kids, they get pushed to me. So that's my feed. When I click here where my school name and logo is, it opens what we call our group directory. Group directory is divided into a bunch of categories. So the first is internal groups. These are things that administrators only can see or are a part of. Marketing communications, advancement, staff spirit. And you see you can have as many albums in each group as you like. I've got advertising creative. I've got my annual report and my athletic book that I'm working on here in marketing communications. Down in academics, you've got all of your different grades, but I could also I could have Mr. Jones' first grade, Miss Smith's first grade. So you can break it out even into classes if you wanted to. I've got all my athletics. I've got events, special events, Grandparents' Day, Spirit Week, Homecoming, the extracurricular clubs that happen around campus, and things that happen off campus, Model UN, field trips, that kind of thing. I'm going to click into 3rd grade here. When I open 3rd grade, it shows me all the different albums that are in this group. And again, this is just an example, but in my group 3rd grade, I've got things like major units of work, field trips, guests to the classroom, anything central, big that's happening in the 3rd grade world. And I can add a new album super easy. So if I say, oh, we're going to take the kids to the beach for a field trip, I just enter the name of the album and the date, I proceed, and off we go. I've got a place to put photos in beach trip. Uploading photos is really, really simple. I just click on upload and it will say, sure, Tina, where do you want to upload to? I'm going to upload to geography project. All I have to do is drag and drop my 27 photos of geography project right into this box and they're going to upload. I can also browse for photos if they're on my desktop somewhere. While those are uploading, I can upload the ones that I have from first week of school because I forgot to upload those. So as things are uploading, as long as you don't log out of Vidigami, you can just keep uploading and uploading. Depending on the size of the photo will depend on how long it takes to upload, but it's a pretty robust uploader, which is great. As soon as I click into an actual album, I see the photos that I have to work with there. So I just click into an album and there they all are. So if I'm a marketing communications person, I want to do a little newsletter on Friday to say, oh, it's been a great first week back to school. Maybe I want to go in here and take I'll pick my favorite few photos and I'll upload these. So my little batch functionality bar came down here. I'll batch download those photos. They'll zip into a little compressed folder on my desktop. And off I go. So I've batch selected those. I could also batch move them. I could say, oh, whoops, those aren't first week back. Those are geography project. So you can move photos, batch move them so easily. I could batch delete them, batch download them, batch move them. I could batch tag them. There's a place where I can add context tags. I could add athletics. I could add whatever tags I'd like to create here by multiple photos at a time. And I can add to sets, which is a great feature. If I create a set and I want a new set, I want to call it annual report. Any great photos I find for my annual report, I put in my annual report set. It doesn't take the photo away from anywhere. It just bookmarks those photos as my favorites so that when I'm ready to do my annual report, I can just go back into my folder and batch download those photos or choose the ones that I know I'm going to definitely use and batch download them. So you can keep track of little sets of photos for anything you like. So I'm doing that newsletter. I'm going to take those few photos that I downloaded onto my desktop. And what I'll do, I'll say, oh, we had a great week back. Here are a few photos, and I'll put those 3 photos that I downloaded into my newsletter. I'll say, click here to see all the photos. So this auto generates a share link that will draw everyone into my first week back album. So it's a great way when you're first starting with Vidigami to draw people into the system, to show them this is where the photos are. The more you do that at the very beginning, the more successful, the more awareness you bring, that slowly and surely evolves into parents uploading their own photos. We have lots of best practices about that as well that we share with you. So those are our albums. We've looked at the photos. Actually, let me click into a photo. I'll show you when we click into an actual photo, it opens what we call the light box, and I can scroll through these photos and look at them like this. A lot of good information here though. First one is uploaded by Tina Barkley. So it shows here that I uploaded this photo. The name of whoever uploads the photo is always associated with the picture. So this is actually accountability as well, to make sure that people don't upload, you know, their spring break photos or something, you know, their hot date Saturday night photos. If you're launching to students, many of our schools, but certainly not all of them, launch to their parent community and even to their student community or part of their student community. Some even do just the yearbook committee. Over here we've got more info. I've got the date that the photo was taken on. I can see the dimensions of the photo, so I know if it's printable, and a file name if there is one. And again, one by one, I could add a tag here if I wanted to. You know, environment, trustees, Smith Library, whatever it is that I want to put onto here. These are the tools that we already saw, but just one image at a time, not the batch functionality. But we do have, you can't edit in Vidigami, but you can rotate. I can set the album cover. And anyone at any time can report a photo. So if this was someone's trip to Disneyland at Easter break, I could just report a photo and it becomes instantly unviewable until an administrator can look at it. I can only delete a photo if it's my own photo or if I'm an administrator. But so you'd report a photo if you saw something that shouldn't be up there. We really don't have any abuse. We're hundreds of schools in now and happy to report that. Here I'll just put my cursor along this photo, and our system detects faces. And you can see that Paige Graham here is tagged. If I wanted to go in and tag this face, I just click here and start typing Chloe's name. Because she's in the system, we have what we call facilitated tagging. This is assisting me in tagging her face. We've also uploaded her school yearbook photo when it was ready, so I can cross-reference her face with the photo, because, you know, sometimes I get a couple kids mixed up, but this just confirms, yep, that's Chloe. I just click on here, I release, and she becomes tagged. When we've got kids and they've been manually tagged several times, it kicks off our facial recognition system. The facial recognition system will work when it's ready. I don't want to say it's automatic. It is automatic. When it has a 90% confidence rate, it knows a face, it will go ahead and auto tag it. You can always correct it. However, if I've tagged lots of good photos of Chloe and I upload a photo and I sit here and say, well, gee, why isn't it tagging? Well, it depends. The system is constantly running through photos. So it depends on, are the reference photos we have of Chloe clear? Are they front on? Is the one you uploaded clear and front on? And how many other photos were just uploaded to the system today, yesterday, this week? So it might take an hour, it might take a day, it might take a week. It all depends on how busy the system is. But it is getting more and more powerful. I will say that we've been working on that part of our system quite a lot this summer. We are instituting, or actually not instituting, we're bringing back a feature we used to have, whereby if the system has a 70% confidence rate, it knows who the face is, it will push it to the parents, and the parents can just say, yep, 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 nope, yep, nope, and say, and confirm faces for us. And that also counts as a tagged face. So that just helps the training set further as well. So that's going to help you do your job, I'm pretty sure. We do have a shop on the system. It's just in a beta phase right now. But again, if you want to order a water bottle or a phone case or something personalized, just make prints. They can be done in our shop up here. We actually have a lot of schools ordering at the end of the school year in January, or in June rather. Just thanking parent committees and putting a nice little personalized touch on an item for kids, which was quite cute actually. All right, back here, we're at first week of school. I'm just going to back up here a little bit. We have sets, members, and settings. I'm just going to touch on sets for a moment. if I create a set of photos, I mentioned the annual report set, but if I create a group set, not just a personal my set, and I go up here and the default is group sets are not public, but if I decide to make this public and I accept this end user agreement, when I want to share this set, instead of just a share link, the one I showed you earlier would only be clickable if your parents were invited, authenticated members of the community. This one, when it's a group set and I've made it public, creates an embed link, an embed code, where if I paste this into my website or put it on Twitter, anybody can see it. It just has a capsulated group of photos that I've decided to put out as a slideshow for people to see. And here are those photos. If I wanted to just update my set, delete a few, add a few, it's dynamic. It will just automatically update everywhere I've put it. So I might take that link and put the same link on my monitors in my lobby, on my Facebook page, and on my website. And every week I update the photos, and all I have to do is update these, and they boop, 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 update everywhere. This is a very powerful tool that's being used very, very keenly by so many of our schools. We just launched this several months ago. So we're always launching new and exciting features. If you want to check out somebody, Tabor Academy, Tabor in Connecticut, they're a Blackbaud partner school of ours that is constantly posting slideshows on Twitter, doing an amazing job of photo sharing. Just going to click into admin for a second here and just show you here for a quick second. Under admin, I've got all of my users, and I can sort by user type or by user role. I can manage my reported photos. So if I click to restore to the system and save this reported photo is just going to go back where it came from. If I click again and accept the flag and save it, it's going to be deleted off the system. Coming soon, or actually we just launched, is a way to auto flag children that are opted out students. Again, it's not perfect and it's not immediate. Facial recognition is never perfect, but it will facilitate if you want to auto flag some kids' photos that you want to get off the system. Here I can manage my tags. I can see all the different context tags I might have and how many groups they're in, how many albums they've been tagged in, and how many photos actually have those particular tags. So I can search by tag here. I can go into roles. We have default roles for different members of the community. So administrators and managers, we've got parents down here, but there's always an exception to the rule. So we now have the ability to create a custom role for different members of your community. And we do have integrations, as I just mentioned, Blackbaud Partner School, but we do have an integration with Finalsite and Blackbaud. These are just at the moment, just light single sign-on integrations. Just for your information. So if you are a Finalsite or a Blackbaud school, talk to us about it. There is a cost associated to those companies, but there are some advantages to having an integration. And I can't believe this. It feels like Monday, but it's Wednesday. I didn't show you one of the most exciting features that we have in our system, so I've just gone back a minute here. When you're in our system and looking at different photos, one of the real powers of Vidigami is our searchability. Because when a photo comes into the system, I had showed you me uploading to Geography Project. When my photos go into Geography Project, they're automatically instantly tagged school year 2017-18. Here, I'll even go into my group. They're tagged 2017-18. They're tagged academics. It's tagged third grade, Geography Project, and then further tagged if any context or face tags are associated or added. So here's what that looks like. If I search for Paige Graham, who we saw in that photo a minute ago, every photo that Paige Graham has been in comes up. And I can narrow my search. I can say athletics and see if Paige in athletics comes up. There they are. So when Paige is an alumna many years hence, I could go in, maybe she makes the US Olympic track team. I could just go in and search this, and these photos are going to come up at Paige. It's a hugely powerful tool. I'm going to pause there and just see if we have any questions. So please feel free to put put in any questions that you have. We have a couple questions right off the top here. What's the upload limit? Good question. There is no limit. So you can upload to your heart's content. We have a school, St. Mary's School in California, who held last year's record. They uploaded about 53,000 photos to the system. So definitely busy uploaders. What resolution? Yes, excellent part B to that question. So you can upload up to about a 20 megabyte photo. That's got some flexibility. We ask that you don't upload raw images at this time. While I'm thinking of it, I'll just mention we've got a couple of handouts in the handout tab there in your control panel too. So please feel free to download those Meet Vidigami PDFs. Oh, I understand. How can I upload my past photos? So as I mentioned to you a moment ago, Rewind is the program we use to go back in time. So if you wanted your years, for example, I'll go right here. Notice that this school here has been with us for these many years. You can click and go into any school year that you've used Vidigami at any time. And I know I'm missing a school year here. Don't ask, it's a bit of a long story. This is my demo site that is having a 2016-17 issue. So normally they would all show up. But we have schools that have gone back to 1936 and beyond. And many will go back by year to 2000 and then go by decade. Actually, you only have to pay for 20 years and you can put in as many as you like. So we'll tell you about pricing. Pricing with Rewind is incredibly affordable. We try to make it nice and easy for you. What is the best practice? Okay, we will share lots of best practices with you, but one of the best practices for getting your teachers on board is at the beginning of the year or at some sort of staff meeting to have them come in with their laptops to a meeting and to send your invitations for them to join Vidigami out right in the meeting and give them a quick demo. But as I mentioned, we only teach them 5 things. So we keep it really, really straightforward and simple. It looks like someone has their hand up. Sarah, if you can type your question in here in the little question area, that would be super helpful. Those are all the questions I'm seeing at the moment. I'm going to go on to one last final slide, and then I'll come back to the questions if there are more questions. Oh, someone's asked crowdsourcing. Seems great, love it. Have schools expressed challenges of highlighting certain students over other students in marketing materials? Nobody's really mentioned that. I mean, still you need to kind of keep track of who you're using and not using so that you're not overusing, I suppose. But you kind of, you can go into your admin tab over here and see at any time, for example, Chloe Graham. Oops, sorry, I meant to stay on that one, on this right here. I'm going to move my admin here. See, it says at Chloe there's 57 photos. So I can go in by class and see how many photos there are for each kid. I can say, gee, we need some more photos of Allison here. Is she the kid that hides behind the door when the camera comes out? Some kids aren't, take a picture of me, kids. But you can keep track of the number that you have here and you'll know what your needs are or what are needs students over here. And the onus can fall on the parents. Say, hey, upload more photos of your kids, which is a great thing. Can you explain the integration with Blackbaud? Is it a single login with the parent portal? Yeah, so we always need parents to accept our end user agreement. So they must authenticate their account with Vidigami. But once that happens, when you've got the single sign-on with Blackbaud, you can put our logo on your resource page, and if they click it, they just go right into Vidigami because we recognize their login from your website. So that's an option. To be very, very honest with you, when I log into Vidigami, just right here it says Tina, it always remembers me. So the integration isn't very deep right now. It's not information, it's not SIS yet, but that is the next phase. So if you really are always drawing parents to your website and you want them to get into Vidigami that way, single sign-on makes a lot of sense for you. If it's just to ease the login for your parents, well, you know what? Once they authenticate their account, we're going to remember them anyway, as long as they're on the same device. But once we get the SIS in there, it's going to be a whole different ballgame because that will update your contacts and update your kids at your school or an email change and all that kind of thing. So that will become infinitely more valuable, I think. Oh, I love it. Can't wait to hear more. Excellent. We would love to do a demo, as I mentioned, for an expanded team. Oh, I apologize. Where's my, there we go. For a larger team at your school. It's great to get ideally marketing communications, IT, yearbook, and someone from advancement. That's kind of the golden quartet, if you will, to get into a group. Everyone's going to ask us how much we charge. That's always on everyone's mind. Our pricing depends on the size of your school. We bill our fees annually, and they auto-renew year after year unless you cancel your account with us. But they start at about $99 a month. So if you're, and that goes up to about 400-ish students. So it starts at about $11.88 per year. We do tag on a small charge each year to store the year before. But great news, we have a $500, usually a setup fee that ranges from $500 to $750. It's a one-time setup fee to get you going. If you sign up for Vidigami within 30 days of today's webinar, we waive that fee. So there's a huge incentive to, you know, be excited about what you just saw and start chatting with people about it and get the ball rolling. Oh, here's another question. How long does it take to get my site set up? Well, that's a great question. Really, as soon as you sign our service agreement, which is very, very straightforward, we just need you to populate a set of forms with all of your student names, their grades, etc. We set up your site in about 48 hours, and then we put you through a crash training session and get you going. So it doesn't take long at all. St. Margaret's would like to do a demo. Oh, thank you. Yes, we will. Thank you. We'll definitely contact you. That's the gist of it. I will just say one more thing on the agreement. Your photos are your property. So our agreement very clearly says that, hey, in 3 years, 8 years, 20 years, you decide to leave Vidigami, these photos are yours. We just provide a service. So they're in the cloud, you can electronically transfer them wherever you're going. We are just providing a service. So we don't have any rights to your photos per se. Anyway, we'd love to have you tell your team about Vidigami. We'd love to share more information and do some more demos at your schools. We also have a demo just like this on our site. As I mentioned, you don't go to vidigami.com. That's where you go to log in for the system. You go to about.vidigami.com. That's where all of our information is. There it is right there, about.vidigami.com. We have a generic email address if you're eager beavers to get in touch with us, sales@vidigami.com. But I promise that one of us will be in touch with you to follow up. Thank you again, everyone, for joining me. I hope you have a great day, and we'll hope to make you partners soon.